Welcome to my channel. This is Crime Stories with Linda. So today we are going to talk about the story of Jordan Lee, and this story is a very heartbreaking case. Seriously, the case involves young teenagers that made wrong choices and led to the death of a very young boy, a promising young boy. That, oh God, the case is the case is devastating, quite devastating. But let's just get into this case. So Jordan Lee was born on 26th of July 1998. He had a 5 days after his birth, his birth father died. So he grew up with his widowed mother, and he grew up in Michigan. He was attending Pioneer High School in Ann Arbor, and this is where was very athletically and academically talented. He's a very talented football player. He even had scholarship. He got scholarship and awards based on his talents. In fact, he got recognitions because he was very talented in these areas. So he was a very promising young boy that wanted to study engineering. So he grew up with his mom, and the mom was so caring. They were like best friends, and the mom felt that that this friendship, at least it will blossom till the rest of their lives, you know. But this young man's life was just cut short in a very devastating way, and very heartbreaking. So there he goes to the high school in he goes to high school in Michigan, and one of the days he was coming back from school, and he just met with three teenagers. They were 17 years old, Daniel Wright, Jamarus Ellison, and Del Reno Gracie. So these three teenagers were hanging around, and they just decided to like rob any random person that they see on the streets. So they met with Jordan, and Jordan was just coming back from school. No one knows how it really happened, but he was just coming back from somewhere, and they met up with him, and they brandished a firearm, and the boy panicked and he resisted because he didn't want them to collect anything from him. They were just fighting and dragging, the and Dante Wright just shot him on the forehead, and immediately he just slumped on the floor and died instantly. So, and they ran away. The three teenagers ran away, and they left Jordan Klee there rather, and the maintenance worker that works in his apartment complex found him on the floor of that area, and he just he alerted people and called 911, and when they came around they found out that it was Jordan that had died, and the mother was just she was pained and saddened because this is her only child. This is the only her only memory of her husband, and who wouldn't feel bad? She felt so bad. She cried so much, and and within a few days, the perpetrators were caught, and when they were taken to the police station and they were questioned, Dante Wright told them that, in fact, during his trial, he told them explicitly that he was the one that shot Jordan Klee, and he shot him and he died. He shot him on his forehead. But the thing is that this particular boy, this Dante Wright, he was not feeling remorseful at all. He didn't feel any remorse for this thing that he did. He was just like it was just nonchalant with it. And during the trial, they were able to like secure a plea deal for them that okay, since they were still young, they were below 18, because Dante Wright is 17 years old, and I the other ones are still teenagers too. So they secured a plea deal for them that to serve between 23 years and 50 years instead of spending their life in prison. Because if this case had gone to like trial, full trial, it would have they would have been sentenced to life imprisonment. But because he didn't go to trial, they were able to secure a plea deal of that 23 years to 50 years for Dantarite, and for the others 15 years to 40 years. And when they were doing this plea deal trial, the Dantarite was just there laughing. He even stood up and said he will soon be going home and he will meet his family and friends. He was just laughing, even as the victim's mom could not even hold herself. She was just crying, and as she was crying, Dantarite was there laughing, behaving as if he doesn't understand what the gravity of what he had done. He was just laughing and not feeling any type of remorse. So the judge had to call him out on that, and told him that he's tempted to like take this case to the full trial. And he even asked Jordan Klee's mom if she would want this case to go to full on trial, but she said no, that she doesn't want it to go on trial, that she just wants them to do this and just for her to just move on. And the judge called Dantarite out on all his bullshit at that, all the things that he was just doing at that court. He was just rubbing his fingers, smiling, smirking, he, on the videos, I saw the videos. Even me, that is not the mom of the victim, I felt really bad. He was just laughing. So, and the mom could not even give her victim's statement. It was the auntie that gave the victim's statement. It was for the case. And while they were giving that statement, he was still laughing. So when he was called out on that, the lawyer stood up and said that it's not that he's laughing at some people, their emotions, that he may be feeling sad, and the way he can express himself is through laughing and smiling. So at the end of the day, they were able to finish the trial, and he was actually sentenced to that 23 years to 50 years, meaning that he could stay in prison for 50 years, if a whole 50 years. And when he comes out, he will be up to like 77 if he spends the whole 50 years. If he comes back at 23, he will still be 40 or less than 40, and still be able to do all those things, that he can marry, he can get a job, he can start a career. But Jordan Klee has been denied all these things. The mom can never see him. Even the victim's statement that the mom was giving, the mom was just saying that the auntie was reading it out. I think the mom wrote those words, and she was saying that she will not be able to be a grandmother. She will not be able to attend his son's graduation, because they were like a few months or few weeks to their graduation before he was murdered. They were all in their final year of high school, both Dantarite and Jordan Klee. They were in their final years of high school, and they were a few weeks or a few months before graduation, before this incident happened. And the mom was saying he will not be able to go for his graduation. She will not be able to see him to college. She was just it was just a very, 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 very devastating scenario like happening at the court there, and that boy was just sitting there laughing. So all the statement that she gave, it was just so, oh god. So that was what happened, and he was sentenced to 23 to 50 years, and his friends were sentenced to 15 to 40 years. And the worst part of it is that Danta Wright and his mom, they're almost the same. When the mom was questioned later, and the mom was just saying, that the mother of that what would she say to Jordan Klee's mom. He said that she doesn't have anything to say. That what she has to say is that she lost her son, and she too she lost her own son to prison. That Jordan Klee's mom has lost her son, and she has lost her son. But how are these two things related? Jordan Klee's mom will never be able to see her son, but you can visit your son in prison. You can see him, you can actually see him anytime you want to see him. You can go to the prison and see him. But Jordan Klee can never see can Jordan Klee's mom can never see him ever again. You can still be able to get grandchildren through that Danta, but Jordan's mom cannot get any of that anymore. She cannot see him forever. So comparing how are you comparing your own situation with her own situation? That is very, I've never seen this type of people. And she was just trying to like insinuate that that Jordan has one mental sickness or the other, that's why why he was behaving the way he was behaving in the court, and that's why he did what he did, you know. And when she was asked of the mental illness that she thinks that Jordan has, she could not say any. She could not even pinpoint the kind of mental illness that he has, because I think she's just trying to use it as an excuse to excuse her son, and that she was just trying to feel that maybe she was cheated and her son was sentenced to the extreme, because he has a mental illness, and that was why he committed the crime that he committed. But nobody is buying any of her bullshit. Nobody is buying anything that she's selling. She knows that she's lying. Danta does not have any mental illness, and no type of mental illness will even excuse the kind of evil her son committed. So Jordan was just lost for nothing. He was just killed at that young age for nothing. A promising young man that could have grown to give back to the community, to help, to inspire others. That's how his story ended, because of poor choices, because of poor choices, because of the way people behave, the way people maybe train their children. That's how this boy lost his life. For what? Whatever they wanted to steal from him, they could not take it. He lost his life. What kind of evil will possess a young man to like point a gun at someone and release that bullet when he knows, the kind of impact that kind of thing? And he did not shoot on the leg, he did not shoot on any other place, on the head, on the forehead. That means he really meant to kill him. He knows that kind of shot, that kind of shooting him on the head, he will not be able to survive it. So this is the story of Jordan Klee and Danta Wright. Not much is really known about. I tried to like get more things on this case, but not much is really known about it. This was just how he ended, and it's just the story of how poor choices can destroy lives. This boy now, if he serves the whole 50 years, that means he will be in prison till he's like 67 or so. That a whole life wasted. The other boy is dead. Wasted lives. So we should just be careful of the choices that I make these videos because I want people to make good choices. Be careful of what you do, because every kind of action, every kind of choice you make there is always a consequence. And even if you think that you are like the smartest person, you will definitely be caught. So please just stay safe and make good choices. Thank you very much for watching, and please try to subscribe. I've made a lot of videos and a lot of people watch them. Few people watch them. I don't see a lot of people yet, but please just subscribe if you've not subscribed, so that at least I'll move on from this 12 subscribers jail that I've been in for the past 3 months. Thank you so much for watching. And with that being said, good night and bye.